They say it's a young man's sport, but the Ironman chooses to disagree. 36-year-old John Natale broke through to capture another AMA Pro ATV Motocross Championship in 2011. But the young guns are ready to fight back this year. It's the opening round of the 2012 AMA Pro ATV Motocross Championship here on Racer TV, part of the NBC Sports Network. Jason Wygant here on hand, joined by the fastest four-wheeled ATV racers in the world. They are all gunning for John Natale. That includes his young new teammate, Joel Hetrick. They will race together on the MotoWorks Can-Am squad. Got to watch out for the Hondas as well, such as the number 7 and Joe Bird. So many riders, so much hype, so much anticipation. Everyone got to get some of the nerves out in practice earlier today, laying down fast laps. The Aonia Pass Motocross Complex in Washington, Georgia, serving as your host for round number 1. While the riders had fun taking laps in practice, it's about to get really serious. Let's talk to some of our contenders.
This year coming in, I knew what I had to do. I knew my training program was going to be just a whole nother level that I put myself through, and I was ready and prepared for it. I knew what I needed to do, and I'm just excited to get the first moto underway.
Just coming off an ankle injury, still trying to get back in the groove of things, but you know, racing's different than practice. We just gonna get out there and drop the hammer.
It was kind of stressful, all the pressure everyone's putting on me. I won 2 races last year, and now everyone wants me to do it again. So I'm pretty confident I can get up on the podium this year in this first race. And that's what I plan to do.
It's a really good feeling to be back on the machine and being back at the Nationals and having, you know, this kind of support behind me that was, you know, really unexpected, and it's been in the works for a long time, and I'm really glad where we're at. I'm having a lot of fun doing this, and we got our moto coming up here very soon, and I'm really excited. I mean, I'm getting a little bit nervous, but I think it's more of excitement than anything.
Those 4 riders, just a sample of the deep pack of contenders looking to go after John Natale, last year's series champ. He won't be hard to find, running that customary number 1 that goes with being series champion. But what is it that keeps the Ironman driving at age 36 towards another championship? Let's find out.
Get ready for the 2012 season. We did a lot of testing out in California with the DWT and MotoWorks and Can-Am. You know, we just went to Florida there and did a lot of training, went to the gym, and just did a lot of work, you know, a lot of cardio and a lot of seat time just to get out there and get ready and get into shape for this season opener. It's great to be back again with Can-Am. You know, it's great to have the DS450 and the support that these guys give us. I mean, it's always better to be able to come back on a familiar machine and keep the, you know, testing progressing further and further every year. And you know, it's nice to be able to do it with these guys. You know, they're the ones that support the sport, and they're the ones that are here for us. And you know, we just got to get more people to support them, because without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing today. And you know, in 2005, I have a thing with the number 13. I don't know. I love it because everybody's afraid of it and thinks it's, you know, superstitious, basically. And you know, it's just, this is the first time I actually ran it, and it's kind of nice. I mean, it's neat to run around with the number 1 on your back, but you know, in my heart, it'll always be number 13. And you know, you're only number 1 for, you know, maybe a day or 2, and then it's time to start the new season. And as far as number 1, I just go out and do the best that I can every year, and as long as I come home healthy and I'm able to take care of my baby and my wife, and it's number 1 in my book every year.
And we already have some drama here before the first moto of the year has even begun. Hetrick on the 88. They've got mechanical troubles. They do not have that machine running. Everyone else has taken off for their sight lap. He's got the goggles on here, and I guess they're going to be ready to go. That's get nervous time for sure, although often we've seen riders rebound from that type of adversity, use the adrenaline to grab a whole shot. The start, all important here in motocross, no different be it on 2 wheels or 4. Let's go racing in 2012. Bumping and banging, they go through the first turn, and no surprise, who's going to put it out front early. It's the Baldwin Motorsports Honda of Josh Upperman. That guy can nail starts. He has been a whole shot king the last couple of years, picking up in 2012 right where he left off, up front early. Natalie on the inside, the yellow Can-Am, the blue Yamaha on the outside is Chad Wienen. They are side by side here on lap 1 for second place. And Wienen is going to take the spot. So Natalie has to go back to the drawing board. Let's check in with his mechanic, Casey Greek.
We'll take it. For the first one of the year, come out third, moved into second right away. They're all right there, so should be good.
Well, you got to go fast to hang with Upperman early on. There is Natalie in third, trying to go back to the number 2 spot, pressuring Wienen. Now, those two were teammates on the Can-Ams last year. Wienen got the hot start in the series, was leading the points, but then suffered a huge crash and a broken back. He is now back with a vengeance. Here is Hetrick in fourth, taking on some roost from his teammate Natalie as the top 4 are all into the whoop section together, and Hetrick trying to go around the outside of Natalie to take over third. And he gets it done. All 3 of these riders duking it out, second, third, fourth, applying pressure on Upperman as Natalie tries to get Hetrick back. Upperman going to try to take advantage of that. Well, those guys work each other over. He wants to put in some hard, fast laps, but he's going to have company. You know that Chad Wienen back there, he knows that Upperman wants to get away. He's not going to let it happen. Now wheel to wheel for the lead. Wienen dances down the inside of the Yamaha, and he's able to get the spot. Let's see if Upperman can pay him back here in this right-hander. No, Chad Wienen shuts the door and takes the lead. And you got the Can-Am teammates right behind the Honda man, Upperman, in a great battle for the top 4. We'll be right back. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am and by Amsoil. Trouble for Joel Hetrick. He had a big crash. He is not happy. He had tried, look, he had moved into the number 2 spot and was trying to get around Wienen. And watch this, off the track and over the falls. And that's the difference. Hetrick definitely has the speed, but the veteran knowledge of riders like Wienen and Upperman and Natalie, will that prove to be the difference maker? In this moto so far, it has been. Battle for second raging. Natalie all over Upperman. That race far from over. There is Thomas Brown on the Yamaha. He is fourth. Mark Madel and Nick DeNoble having a great battle. Jeff Rastrelli and Derek Swartfager having a duel as well, just outside of those podium positions. Look at Natalie keeping the heat on Upperman. They're really not that far behind Wienen. Sparkling debut, though, for Wienen, switching to Yamaha for the first time in his career. He has ridden them all, Suzuki's, seen him on Kawasaki's, on Can-Am's. The Yamaha obviously working for him just as well as the other brands. And good to see 3 different machines up in the top 3 with the Yamaha here up front, Upperman on the Honda, and Natalie on the Can-Am. Does Natalie have a spot picked out to try to make the pass on Upperman? And Upperman's hard to get around. As we said, a great starter. He knows how to maintain his position once he gets that lead. Wienen was able to bust through. Natalie, no such luck. And look at Upperman covering the insides here in this left-hand corner. Down this long stretch we go. And Natalie going to try to tuck it a little bit to the right, and Upperman's right there to block it. Wienen, the big man out of Illinois. A lot of people feel that championship last year could have been his if not for the injury. Oh, there goes Natalie, makes the move, found the opening. He has gotten around Upperman. Is there enough time for Natalie to try to run down Wienen? And I guarantee you this, as I said, some people think Wienen might have won that championship last year if he were not hurt. Natalie most certainly does not agree with that, and he is out to prove this year that he can take it to Wienen straight up. Wienen wants to prove he can finally close the deal on a championship, and these two have set off for a showdown on the stretch run here in the first moto of the year. I think Natalie's closing in just a bit. He has shaken Upperman on the Baldwin Motorsports Honda. Here is Wienen. And Whedon's specialty really is some of the real technical sections, the big whoop sections, and things like that, where he can really use his height to his advantage. There aren't really any sections like that on this course, but Natale, on the same token, says he likes the rough stuff as well. It's just the tip of the iceberg here for what will be a long championship grind. We've seen 3 riders, and really 4 with the speed Hetrick had earlier. 4 riders show that they can contend for the wins. Not too far back, though, here is Thomas Brown, who's in the number 4 spot at this point. Madel and DeNoble still going at it. And still going at it is Restrelli and Swartfager. So we've got great racing out here. But Natale wants that to be great racing for the lead as well. Time is running out here in this first moto. I don't think Upperman is going to be able to get either of those 2 back. So it's going to come down to this. Does Whedon, coming off the big back injury, have the stuff to maintain the pace all the way to the end? And remember, it's a 2-moto format here at AMA Pro ATV Motocross. So if you're Natale, you know you get second in this one. You come back and win the second moto. That's the tiebreaker. That'll make the difference. There is Hetrick, by the way, being towed off. At least he is okay after that crash while trying to take the lead. White flag is out. Whedon over Natale, and Natale now has Whedon in his sights. It is not over. Natale saw the white flag and he has stepped it up. I don't think he's going to have time, but he has definitely let it be known he is in shape this year. Checkered flag is out. Chad Whedon is back and on top in ATV Pro Motocross in Moto 1. And you got to feel good for that guy bouncing back from such a huge injury, but he's got to do it again in Moto 2 if he wants to score the overall. No doubt that Natale, Upperman, and possibly Hetrick will be back and looking for him in Moto number 2. Here are your results. Stay tuned. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am and by Amsoil. Well, all systems go here for the 88 of Joel Hetrick. He has apparently recovered from that big crash while trying to take the lead in Moto number 1. We're ready for race 2 now. Wait, I have spoken too soon. They're actually attempting to bump start Hetrick's machine. So a little bit more drama there for the 19-year-old. But hey, the teenagers are used to that kind of thing. They recovered nicely from it in Moto 1 to get up toward the front. We'll see what we can do in Moto 2. Chad Whedon grabbed the Moto win, but that SSI Decals Whole Shot Award went to Josh Upperman. We'll see if Upperman on the number 20 Honda, the red machine, can get it again. Looked like Natale into the first turn first, but dealing with some heat from Upperman, and they're going to give the Whole Shot Award to Upperman. So that's 2 SSI Decals Whole Shot Awards for Upperman today, but Natale quickly gets around him on lap 1, and here comes Whedon right with him. So right where you want it after Moto 1, the 3 favorites are up front early, and Whedon now going after Natale. Same section of racetrack where he got around Natale on the first lap of the first moto. Not this time. Natale's going to hold him off. Yeah, Natale's just too smart for that. You're not going to get him in the same place twice in the same race day. And look at the 20 of Upperman trying to hang with them. This is going to be a great race. Sit back and relax, folks. Unfortunately, the helmet cam taking on some roost. We'll give you the view topside as Natale and Whedon measure each other, going at it for the moto win and the overall for the day. Whedon fading over just a little bit to the right side of that straightaway, trying to find an opening on Natale. And if you can't find the opening to make the pass, you at least want to go elsewhere. So he sees glimpses of tire, of fender, keep that pressure on. Looked like Derek Swartfager, Thomas Brown there hooking up in a battle just inside the top 5. Look at the pace. Natale is running early. That's the way he is, man. He close second in that first moto behind Whedon. He did not want to let the man from Illinois get any momentum in this series. That first moto win did it, so he's got to strike back, and he's doing it. There are the whoops. That's always the strength of wide open Whedon. Uses it to close back up on Natale's rear wheels. Man, these guys are just leaving no part of this course unraced. No coasting anywhere. charging on the downside of jumps, charging into the corners, out of the corners, and that is allowing them to just inch away from Upperman little by little. I've got to wonder what Wienen's strategy is here. When we had the helmet cam on Upperman, you could hear and see how much roost he is taking on. So Wienen is just as close as Upperman was at that time. So you know what it's like when you stay right behind the guy, you put the pressure on him, but man, does that roost hurt. How long is Wienen going to be content to sit back there? If you're hoping to press Natali into a mistake, very rarely does that happen. Natali is called the Iron Man for a reason. You are not going to intimidate him. You're not going to shake him into a mistake. Is Wienen trying to set him up? Does he have a spot at the track picked out where he can make a pass? Looks like Brown has moved up to the number 4 spot, but he's got a whole pack right behind him. Stay tuned. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am and by Amsoil. Good hard racing here for the number 1 spot at Aonia Pass in Washington, Georgia. Look at Chad Wienen wheeling around the outside of those whoops, and he's going to use it to get back inside of Natali. And he puts the Yamaha out front. Natali's not going to be nice about it. Natali able to edge him off and take the lead back. Woo! Great racing here. Jason Wygant giving you the call. It's the opening round of the AMA Pro ATV Motocross Championship for 2012, and 2 of the expected championship contenders have delivered today. Natali and Wienen just going at it. Wienen trying to square Natali up there in that big left-hand bull berm. Not able to make it happen, but here are the whoops. This is what Wienen likes. Natali doing a good job of controlling the inside. Here goes Wienen attacking again. Nearly a replay of the way it went the last time around. No, a little mistake from Wienen is going to allow Natali to hold the lead once again. And it's got to get so frustrating after a while. You got a couple of lines picked out, a couple of spots where you think you can make the move, and each time Natali has it covered. And this is like a close game in the 4th quarter. The momentum just going back and forth between them. And look at the distance they have put on Upperman in 3rd, who is running a superb race in his own right. Wow, Joel Hetrick up to 4th from way back. Scoring had him in 11th on the first lap. That kid is going to win races this year. You can count on it. Didn't get the breaks today. Like we said, that might be the difference. The veteran experience of these two, Natali and Wienen, they don't make those mistakes week in and week out there up front, but you're going to hear from Hetrick before this one is over. It has settled down just a bit between Natali and Wienen, but I still believe that Wienen is going to be picking his spots. Neither one of these guys is going to go down without a fight. Natali did not give up the lead easily. That's why he's still in the number 1 spot, but he knows well that Wienen is not going to just let him go. But remember, late in that first moto, it was clearly advantage Natali down the stretch. Pretty far back. He was able to close up on Wienen. He didn't make the pass, but he showed he can go hard right down to the very last lap. Does Wienen have it in him to do the same here in Moto 2? That's that whoop section that Wienen used to show a couple of wheels to Natali. This time not quite close enough. You see how much closer he has gotten just through that section alone. If he can figure out some of Natali's lines through the rest of this track, get himself back in position for those whoops. As we look back to Upperman, now a lonely race in 3rd, but he's got some extra money in his pocket based on those 2 SSI Decals Whole Shot Awards. But it has come down to these 2, Natali and Wienen. Here goes Wienen over the back fender, side by side with Natali, out of control in fact. But that's what it's going to take if you want the lead. And Natali again is able to hold back the advances. But look at how close Wienen is now. He doesn't care about dust, rocks, roost. It is just an all-out duel for the number 1 spot, which will give them the overall win today. The white flag is out in the last lap. Nice gap for Upperman over Hedrick, who is just too far back to make a run for the podium. And it's the last trip through the whoops. And Whedon is going to let it all hang out. He gets sideways. He gets side by side with Natali and backs it underneath and steals the lead on the last lap. Now Natali has to go back to work. The fans going crazy with this racing. You can hear them cheering as they head to the finish. It's over. Chad Whedon has stolen the victory here in Georgia. Unbelievable as you look at the results. Natali led every lap except the last one. Upperman, Hedrick, and Brown round out the top 5. And there are your overall results. Pretty much a mirror image, Moto 1 to Moto 2. But that's not going to be the case all year long. You push each other like that. Whedon could have just as easily gone down as easily as he got the lead. That's what it takes to win here in 2012. Pushing the edge. Natali, not stoked on it, but not disappointed either. He knows it's a long season. But today, the glory goes to Chad Whedon, who has come all the way back from the injured reserve list to win and grab the points lead in the opening round of the season. Good job by Josh Upperman to finish in third in both motos. That's third overall for the day. And that really sets the scene for what should be some great racing throughout the 2012 season. So glad you could join us here at Aonia Pass. I'm Jason Wygant for everyone here at Racer TV. Thanks for watching. Congrats to Chad Whedon.